Join Bible-believing, church-going Christians who are redeeming the culture from as far west as Perth and as far east as New Zealand at the 8th Annual Church and State Australian Summit in Brisbane on 7th to 8th of March 2025. The theme of CAS conferences in 2025 will be Pulpits Aflame. In the mid-1800s, before Australia's constitution was forged in faith, French political philosopher Alexis de Toqueville said this in agreement with Scripture about the United States of America. "I sought for the greatness and genius of America in her commodious harbours and her ample rivers, and it was not there. In her fertile fields and boundless forests, and it was not there. In her rich mines and her vast world commerce, and it was not there. In her democratic Congress and her matchless Constitution, and it was not there. Not until I went into the churches of America and heard her pulpits aflame with righteousness did I understand the secrets of her genius and power. America is great because she is good, and if America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great." If we want to do as God expects of us and play a part in redeeming our nation, we must preach the gospel. We must know and say what God says about the most debated issues, for He is not silent on them. When the pulpits are silent or confused on what God says about debated issues, Australia will cease to be great because it will cease to be good. If Australia is in need of cultural and political reformation, it is because we are in need of religious reformation. God is calling preachers and parishioners to make disciples of all nations, to teach them everything Jesus commanded us. The church is called to be pulpits aflame with righteousness, and the church and state conferences in cities around Australia are equipping believers to be just that, training ordinary Christians to know and say what God says about the most debated issues in our nation. For the love of your neighbour and the discipleship of democracy, make sure you are at the Church and State Australian Summit in Brisbane, March 7th to 8th, 2025, or the subsequent conferences in cities and regions around Australia. To save your seat, donate, volunteer, or subscribe to receive event updates, or to watch the growing library of videos on a variety of debated issues since 2018, visit churchandstate.com.au.